Hello, everybody. Once again, this is Jeffrey Daniel, and today is September 12th, 2020. And I wasn't expecting to come back this soon again with another post, but after looking at what's happening in the world in lieu of what's going on, I thought, like, wow. There's just some things that I just want to, address. I'll give you guys a brief summary of what's going on right now, things that are concerning me. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for tuning into my other posts and giving me your feedback, which I greatly appreciate. And, I'm always open for, whatever you have on your mind, whatever you want to kick back at me, because we're in this together. I'm riding with you guys, even though we're on semi-lockdown now, about, trying to let things up, but still being cautious about it, whatever the case may be. But we're still riding together. And I just want you guys to know I'm riding with you, okay? I'm still here, and I appreciate you guys who are riding with me. I'm not in the numbers game, I don't just sit back and gloat over how many viewers I have or anything. If I got 5 people that's giving me feedback, I'm happy. If I get 3 people, I'm happy, So, and it's funny how society has been so dumbed down, because people can come on and give you information, vital information and knowledge, things that help enhance the quality of your life and your survival. But then people are so mesmerized by people like Cardi B's booty, and they'll just get millions and millions upon millions of hits just for things like that, And I'm not dissing Cardi B. I'm just talking about the human psychic, how people have been dumbed down to what they find valuable to their life, or to help pass their time or whatever, So, but I'm here to disseminate my information and to give you my perspective, and in return, get your perspective. If you got some feedback you want to kick back at me, we can do it like that. And if you guys catch me reading from time to time, you have to understand, because I have a lot of information here, and I don't want to forget things. I don't want to overlook things. And because my mind I use it for what I do in my art, because I don't read the music. So every song I play, every instrument I play, every note I do, it's in my head. I don't read it on the sheet, So that's what I use my brain for. All my choreography and my compositions and arrangements and lyrics or whatever, it's all in here. So that's why some of the things I just have to look down and keep up with there, okay? All right, so here we go. So what's on my mind now? This is what I really feel, you guys. I think that there's only one solution for the survival of our planet and humanity. There's only one solution for the survival of our planet and humanity at this point. Now, what I'm going to say might step on some people's toes, but it's a good thing, because sometimes stepping on toes wakens you up to things. I might rub some people in the wrong way, or some people may take it the wrong way. But honesty is honesty, and however you take it, sometimes they say what the bitter pill is the best for you, the bitter medicine, so we can't always be sweet. But I think the only solution is we have to take our planet back. And I'm in all seriousness. We have to take our planet back. You see, since I would say around the Industrial Revolution, around that time, back in the 1700s, maybe going back a little 1600, that's when it aggressively has gone into the hands of the Europeans. You guys, you have to understand, if we don't take our planet back into our hands, we're about to lose everything. They are killing off wildlife. I mean, there are species of animals that have gone extinct and they will never be seen again. There are species of animal right now that are on the brink of going extinct. When these animals are gone, that's it. It took billions of years of evolution to get them here. And with a few 100-year span of time, just wiping them off the planet of the earth. And for what? For profits? For sport? And it's throwing our whole planet's ecosystem off balance. Certain coral reefs that are being decimated. And that's throwing the whole ocean chain off balance. This is happening through human intervention. Doing things for profit, for sport, for money, for greed. I mean, we're the original people of the planet. We're the guardians of this planet. And we coexisted with nature in this planet for, we can't accurately say how long because time wasn't recorded at a certain time. But up until time is recorded and we can look back, we can say a few 100,000 years, at least a few 100,000 years. Forget that biblical narrative of 6,000 years. Come on, no. We have trees older than 6,000 years. You know, we've got evidence of humans being here longer than 6,000 years. So they're finding out that the Sphinx, which is a Greek word, but for the sake of argument, that the Sphinx is probably about 30,000 years old, doing carbon dating and all this, you know. So things are much older than people think. But the thing about it is we are the guardians of this planet. And we have been relegated to just witnessing and participating in the destruction of the planet, nature, and wildlife, and ourselves. As I said before in another post, why would you even have a stockpile of nuclear weapons when you know about 3 would basically wipe out the planet from the explosions and then the fallout and then the lingering after effects and blocking out the sun and all that and all these other effects that will, you know, go into play? But they have stockpiles of nuclear weapons, knowing that they'd never even get to the midway through, let alone get to the last bomb, because everything will be gone. They'd be gone too. So anyway, we are, I like to say, we are compliant participants because we are also trying to live by this European construct, by European standards. You know, if we don't begin to immediately and aggressively reclaim this planet, if we don't get it out the grips of the destruction European system, there'll be nothing left to salvage. It'll all be gone. And that's where we're at right now. Let me give you guys some figures, okay? Now, according to the IUCN, do any of you know what the IUCN is? It is the International Union for Conservation of Nature. That is the ICUN. According to, they were established in 1940, where were they at? 1948 in France. 1948 in France, they established the ICUN. And the thing about it is, it's ironic because it was established in Europe. But it's the European system that's decimating the planet. But they come together with a organization to try to help stop it or keep up with it or whatever. But check this out. Here's what they did. According to them, there are over 41,415 species on the red list. This is 41,415 species on the red list. 16,306 endangered animals and plants are facing extinction as of today, right now. This is happening in real time. While you guys are watching these Botox bodies and padded plastic booties on YouTube and on these videos, while you guys are keeping up with your favorite ball club, while everyone's just preoccupied with all these things, your politician or your political party, and these things are going on. Right under our noses, this planet, nature and life as we know it. It's disappearing. We are nature. See, people have the impression like, okay, we're human and that's nature over there. No. Nature sustains us. We are nature. We're in nature. We're in the middle of nature. We are nature. The ancient Egyptians understood that. The Kemetic people, they understood that. And we lived in harmony with it. We didn't pollute our rivers. We didn't pollute our oceans. We didn't pollute the air. We didn't just go out and hunt animals just for game and just wipe out the species. You know? So it just makes you, and you know, I have to be real with this. So when I say Europeans, I'm talking about the system. I'm not talking about every individual European walking around or every European born, but it's the European system that came into our societies. Then they decided to colonize. Then they decided to enslave. Then they decided to impose their system of governance and commerce and how they're running the world. And I don't remember who just sat down and gave them tabs on, okay, you're in charge of the world. Now the world has to answer to you. But they say the spoils go to the victor. So there you have it. Okay, anyway, let me list off some of the animals and wildlife that is in danger right now, that is on the verge of going extinct. I don't know if you guys have heard of the vaquita. Vaquita is a form of a dolphin. It's like a dolphin. They call it the vaquita, okay? Then you got the mountain gorillas, all right? Tigers, beautiful creatures, majestic creatures. The mountain gorillas too, you know? The Asian elephant, orangutans, leatherback sea turtles, and the snow leopard, and rhinoceros. And these are just a few of the species that are on the verge of going extinct. Once they go, boom, that's it. They're going to be like, you go to the museum and they like assemble bones together and stuff like that and put in a museum and say, oh yeah, this used to walk on it. We used to have rhinoceros. Yeah, they used to have the rhinoceros with the double horns, and they used to, oh yeah, we used to have the snow tigers. Yeah, they used to, yeah. And they'll just have pictures of these things. And our grandchildren and great-grandchildren will be looking at these pictures and looking at these exhibitions going, wow, must have been nice to see these things on the planet Earth. You know, what is that? The vaquita dolphins and these things. Wow, that must have been beautiful. They will be looking at films and pictures of what used to be on Earth just a couple of generations before them. During our time. Now, what are we doing about it? You know, we can't even get together with this whole global warming issue that they're trying to do, you know, and that's insinuating that the planet's about to get so hot that we're not going to be able to survive on it after a while. What's happening? Forest fires are breaking out annually, and they're getting worse. The other year, the entire continent of Australia was damn near on fire at one time. Right now, the entire west coast of America is on fire. And each year these fires come out, they're saying it is the worst fire in history. Now this is the worst fire on record. Now this is the worst fire on record. Same thing with typhoons, hurricanes. This is the worst hurricane system on record. This is the biggest typhoon on record. You guys see this thing is escalating. It's escalating. Okay? So, what will we ever do about this? Now, why I blame this on the Europeans? Mostly, okay, because now we're all compliant, we're all participants, but they initiated their system that we're all following and living by. Automobiles, factories, you know, all the things that are spewing pollutants and toxins and stuff into our atmosphere and into our world. Now we have the global wildfires. Prior to European invasion, the indigenous people of the Americas and Australia, among other places, understood and implemented low intensity broadcast burns. Have you ever heard of that before? Low intensity broadcast burns. Let me explain to you what it is. That's when part of the environmental cycle and its maintenance of the wildlife inhabitants. That means that they knew how to set fires and burn to stop the entire forest from burning. Or when a forest fire did ignite, they knew how to either do a counter burn to burn it out, or they knew how to clear certain parts. And that's what happened in Australia with all these eucalyptus trees. The indigenous people in Australia, they knew how to clear certain parts away and keep certain parts, spaced out, so when the annual fires came, it didn't burn everything, because these fires are a part of the ecosystem's cycle. So these fires help actually to renew. When the Europeans came to the Americas and they saw all these beautiful open plains, and they thought that that was just pristine land. That's, oh, this place is beautiful. They didn't know that it was the native people doing these low intensity broadcast burns that was helping to keep balance, that kept the plains open so that the buffaloes can come in and do their grazing and all this stuff, and that enough of nature was balanced. The Europeans didn't understand that. Okay? So, here we are. The West Coast is on fire. It's burning out of control. They got fire tornadoes going up. Homes are going up. People are dying. People are being homeless. The fires are ravaging through entire communities and neighborhoods now. Right now, there's no end in sight. This is because of the intervention of people who invaded and had no knowledge, no clue of how to balance out the environments. So where do these people come from? I mean, what did they know prior to getting there? What experience did they have? It just goes to show that they're new on the planet. All right? So, that's just a fact, you guys. Before the arrival of the Europeans, Africans, Asian Polynesians, all these other ethnic people, they lived in harmony with nature. No pollutants. Another thing, this trophy hunting. Come on, you guys. Even one of Donald Trump's sons was posing with an animal that he flew all the way over to another part of the world, saw a majestic beast, and the only thing he can think of is, you know what? I gotta shoot this so I can pose with it for a photo. That is the mind of a barbarian. That is the mind of a barbaric person. People. Do Africans go over to America and just start shooting down wildlife? Do you see African people go into Europe and go into your communities? Oh, excuse me, I'm hunting for the red fox. Oh, I'm going to go hunting for your deer in your forest, so I can take a picture and put his head on my wall. Come on, you guys. What kind of a people are doing this? What's going on here? Trophy hunting. They're depleting the wildlife that's on this planet. Certain animals eat certain other animals. Certain animals do things in the environment that help other things, just like the bees pollinate. They help flowers grow, and they have the biggest migration of wildebeest going across the savannah in East Africa and all this. This is the cycle of life. This is a cycle of life. How do you look at the cycle of life and go, you know what? Let's destroy that. We'll make money. But when nature goes, we go. Nature is sustaining us. So now what happens after you destroy nature? Right now in America, it's very clear, very obvious that the black man is on the endangered species list on the human scale, okay? Because police are continuing to just shoot us down and beat us like, okay, so we all know all about that. I don't need to even get into that because we're in the middle of that, that whole progress. It's we're right in the middle of it. Um, Here's the thing about it, you guys. The Industrial Revolution started in 1760, mainly between Europe, the UK, and then the America, because in order to suffice for the newly established products from the various colonies, they went from doing things from small shops, and they had to open up factories because the things were coming in volume, from the cotton trade and the tobacco trade and the sugar plantations and the textiles and all these things, agriculture and all these things. It was just coming in such bulk. And then that was the beginning of the whole machinery revolution, the Industrial Revolution. So they started burning coal and burning steam to help drive these machines, to help them with their production, because they had just things coming in mass, So, in other words, all of us and the planet have to die in order for the Europeans to live a lavish lifestyle. Let me repeat that so you understand. All of us and this beautiful planet, which the planet Earth is the most beautiful planet in our solar system. It is the only planet that can sustain life, even though it's not even a medium-sized planet. When you get to planets like Neptune and Saturn and Jupiter, and these things, like they dwarf the Earth. But the point is, this is where all the life is steaming on. We have life oozing out of every nook and cranny, even in hot volcanic water, acidified water, life. Deep in the ocean, further than man has ever gone before, life. High up on mountains, life. Everywhere, life on this planet. And we're on the verge of destroying this. And what is their answer? Conversation Mars. For some reason, they think that, okay, we're on a one-way trip. We can't go back. They just don't have the heart to go back and take things back and start it again and undo what they're doing, because it will go against their financial holdings. It'll go against their status. So they can't go back. So they figure now, okay, Earth is about to get destroyed. So let's go to Mars and see if we can terraform that planet and live there. Look what you're taking with you. The mentality that is destroying this planet is following you wherever you go. As I say, wherever you go, there you are. You think you're going to suddenly land on another planet, if you can land there safely, if you can travel there safely. There's no oxygen there waiting for you. The soil cannot grow vegetation. You won't have water there. They say, oh, where there's ice, there's life. Baby, if you park your car in the wintertime and frost gathers on the windshield, you think there's life in them? That's just frost, because the planet is further away from the sun than we are. It's not Earth. You need all the other elements together with water to formulate life. Not just, oh, there's water, there's life. Water itself doesn't make life. You need all these other elements together with the water to help it make life, okay? So stop fooling yourselves. Stop fooling us with these firecracker shows of sending off rockets and with the promise of what the future is going to bring. We got to deal with now and what's happening now, not just betting on the future. Everybody's so excited. Oh, Elon Musk or these people are, they sent a rocket to Mars. Oh, they sent pictures back from Mars. But what does that got to do with us? How's that enhancing the value of our life here on Earth? Because it brings some rock samples back and stuff. Even if there is a possibility of terraforming a planet, that technology and that capability is so far in the future. Stop. This isn't Star Trek. This isn't Star Wars, you guys. This is no joke. Traveling that far in space and trying to accomplish those type of things, that's no easy. It's not like, oh, okay, in a day's work, you're going to whistle while we work. No, it's not that easy. The only solution for the survival of our planet and humanity is we need to take our planet back in our hands, because we are nature-loving, human-loving people. We coexist with nature. I'm talking about non-Europeans. Because look at all the countries outside of Europe. And Europeans, you have to understand something. Globally, you're the minority. In your societies, you call us minorities. But globally, you're the minority. So how are we allowing this group of people to totally destroy our life in our home planet? Why are we sitting back allowing this to happen? Do you guys know what's happening with Bill Gates? Bill Gates, do you guys know this? Bill Gates has gotten together with the Harvard scientists, and they're beginning to experiment with geoengineering to control the Earth's temperature by spraying sulfate particles into the lower stratosphere to cool down the planet from global warming. Do you guys know this stuff is going on while you guys are watching the Kardashians and watching this and trying to get the latest car and trying to wear designer clothes? These people are destroying our Earth. Because they're causing global warming, now they're going to try to do something else idiotic to try and stop it by spraying sulfate particles into the lower stratosphere. Okay, now if you do that, that's going to cause another side effect because it's not natural to nature. So anything artificial you introduce into nature causes another effect. If I know this, they have to know this. Oh, it doesn't get any worse. It doesn't get any worse, you guys. It doesn't get any worse. If it does, why are we waiting for it to get worse? I don't understand that. Why are we waiting for it to get worse? Okay, this is something else I got in here. You know what? It's like we have a lot of things going on right now between the pandemic, racial inequality, the Democrats and the Republicans fighting for the election going into the White House. And so you guys have your eye on certain issues and certain prizes, but you know you have to think outside of it, and which I do. My peripheral is here, and I'm looking at the big picture. And the whole thing is like, when you study astronomy, you find out that whatever you thought was big, there's always something bigger. And the more you study, you're going to find something bigger than that and bigger than that and bigger than that. When you study physics, whatever you thought was small, micro, you always find something even smaller than that. And the more you study physics, you even find something smaller than that. And it just continues. So when you keep your eye on what's going on around you, you have to understand what's happening around us. You have to be aware, you know. So all of these things that are going on, let me bring you to some hot topics, okay? Because there's a couple of hot topics I got right here. Hot topics, hot topics, okay. I'm not a ball fan. I don't go to ball games. I don't really watch ball games. I like to watch highlights, maybe of basketball or something, whatever. I don't know. But anyway, they had a football game. It was the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs, okay? And what happened was the teammates themselves came out on the field and locked together to show solidarity against the police killings and the whole anti-racial movement. And the fans booed them. That has got to be the most oxymoronic thing I've ever heard of in my life. For fans to come and watch a game of multiracial team members playing against each other, then when the multiracial team members come together to show solidarity against human suffering, the fans boo them? So what do the fans expect in our society? They should have saluted them for showing empathy for humanity. Instead, they booed them. This is the mental state of the Americans. So that means you would rather them not get together to show compassion for humanity? That means that you don't want humanity to come together and succeed. America, you're showing your true colors and everyone's watching. You're showing your true colors, America. In the middle of all this racial tension, police step out in the middle of the streets in Oregon, fighting each other, and all this stuff going on, and the fires burning, and still trying to find a cure for this COVID-19. What does President Trump do? He goes and finds peace in the Middle East. With all this happening in his country, in his back and front yard, in order for him to try and score some type of presidential victory or some type of presidential achievement, something I've done in my administration, the best he can do is deal with Israel in the Middle East. But he's the president of the United States of America and not helping to solve our national problems. I'm not making this up. I'm not bashing Trump. Trump supporters, if you guys can't see this with your own eyes, what can we say? What can we say? America, you're either going to have to admit that you're a hateful race of people and you have no intentions on living together in harmony with other races, or you're going to have to find a way to get along with other people, because as I said, globally, you are a minority. I don't know what the answers are, you guys. I don't know what the answers are. You know, I'm just here making my dissertations and putting together my ideals and my thoughts and trying to share them with you guys and get some feedback going on. But right now, we have to take our planet back. We have to take our planet back into our own hands. Look how the planet was running before the intervention of the European system. That's all I ask you. Look back, get some books, get some history books. Look back before the 1600s, before the 1500s. Look at the condition that the planet was in. Look at the abundance of sea life, the abundance of wildlife, human life coming. You had some diseases that were wiping out things, but a lot of those things were because of humans too, because of the lack of sanitation. That was what the Black Plague in London and all that was about. You guys, when you look back at what was really going on, you'll be surprised. That's why there was no Black Plague in Africa. That's why there was no Black Plague in Asia. The bubonic plague. Look at the plagues that broke out in Europe. Some of you might, oh, is he bashing us? No, you guys, come on, let's be honest. Let's be truthful about this. We have to be truthful. If we don't address the truth, if we don't bring the truth there, then we can't properly look at and assess what's really going on in order to correct it or cure it or alleviate it. That's what we have to do. I think that's all I wanted to say, because it wasn't really much, because I'm looking at what's happening with the fires burning again and how they're talking about they can't control it and how it's going out. And one man came out and he even spoke about how the native Indians had a way of controlling these fires. But they decimated the Indians, kicked them off the land, relegated them to plantations, and now you're dealing with this. Same thing in Australia. The indigenous people in Australia knew how to balance this so that the whole continent of Australia wouldn't be on fire. We have to go back to who we really are. We have to go back to being humans. I'm not trying to promote it, but I wrote a song called Back to the World, and that's what it's talking about. And Curtis Mayfield had a song called Back to the World. That's what gave me the idea of that back in the 70s. But you guys, we have to get back to the world. We have to take it back to being human again. We have to take it back and start it again because we're on a destructive course. That's a one-way ticket to a dead end. And we're all riding. We're all just participants, just sitting on it, just watching it. Oh yeah, that's burning over there. Oh yeah, they're having a war over there and starvation and people in refugee camps with no sanitation and people breaking out with diseases over there. Oh yeah, there's a big explosion over there in that country and just wiped out the city. Oh yeah, the black rhinoceros has gone extinct. They'll never be here again. We're all just sitting back watching it like it's a damn TV show. What are we doing? Where are we going? I don't want to sound like one of those environmentalists and stuff, and what is that, Greenpeace or whatever, like chasing after whalers and whale hunters and stuff. The little girl from Europe that's coming out, how dare you? I don't want to be like that, you guys, but I'm just trying to bring it to our attention because this is it. If we don't find a way to reverse all this anytime soon, it's all going to be gone. It's going to be gone. You're worried about all this AI technology and nanotechnology. All these things are driven by minerals that come from nature. Cassiterite, coltan, whatever. They make these, what are these batteries? The small batteries they're called. Not dry cell batteries, but I forgot the name, but you guys know what I'm talking about, those round batteries, lithium batteries, the lithium batteries or whatever. All these things, but we need nature to drive these things. That's where they come from. Nothing on this planet, except for meteors, it's coming. Everything that's on the planet is on the planet. Whatever you take it and assemble it or rearrange it or, mix it with something to create something else, but everything was already here. This planet's not getting any heavier than it has been, with everything here. And at the end of the day, the planet doesn't need us to survive. So if we wipe ourselves out and we wipe out a lot of the wildlife and stuff, at some point, the planet will rejuvenate itself because this is a life-teeming planet. Life oozes out of this planet. So we may destroy ourselves and destroy a lot of the wildlife that's here right now. But at some point, that stuff will return. Will we return? We don't know. So, all I have to say is, you guys, it's time to take our planet back. Because if we don't, everything's going to be lost. There'll be nothing left to salvage. Soon, there's going to be more plastic in the ocean than fish. And they know this, and they're still producing plastic. But they know it. I wish you all the best. Take care of yourselves, take care of your family and your loved ones. We don't know about these vaccines because they're rushing it out. And they found out that one lady in the UK, she broke out with a very serious illness from the side effect of a vaccine that they were trying to test because they're trying to do it too soon before proper human trials and proper animal trials that they usually do because they're trying to race it out. I'm not saying vaccines don't do it and they're bad and they're evil and stuff like that. I'm just saying we have to be careful. We have to know what we're doing. We have to know what we're doing. And if we took care of our planet and took care of ourselves, we wouldn't even need vaccines because our immune systems would be strong and they would be fighting off these things. It's sad. It's sad. I'm not trying to, sound all bleak and like, there's no hope for the future. And I'm not trying to be the father of doom and gloom. But if we don't wake up and see the reality, we have to see it, you guys. Come on. We have to see it. Wake up. It's going to be too late. Take care of yourselves, okay? Spread the love. As I always say, make love great again. Because if you make love great again, we can all be great. And if we're all great And if we spread love, then we'll love our planet. We'll love each other. We'll stop warring with each other. We'll stop killing each other. We won't just kill off animals for sport and for fun. Okay, that's it for me. I love you guys. I want to end this with a smile because I want to still try to bring a little bit of happiness into your lives. I want to end this with a smile because I still have hope. I'm still optimistic that we can do it, but we have to act fast. If we don't act fast, it'll be too late. We have to act, you guys. First, with ourselves, the human race, and mankind. We need to find a way to coexist with each other. And then we need to coexist with the animals that help sustain our ecosystems, that help sustain our lives. The plant life, vegetation, the forest. You're going to decimate a whole forest so you can dig out gold so you can be rich, and totally destroying the habitat of all these animals and destroying the animals themselves, but you don't care because you can be rich. We have to take care of our planet the way it takes care of us. Okay? I love you. Make love great again. Real Saul knock. No, okay, no, I'm just joking. Okay, bye guys.